connection. I think this is working now. So I guess I got cut off. Am I hearing? I guess I got cut off in the middle. Everyone's telling me that they didn't get to hear the middle part of what I was saying. So I wanted to jump in and come back. I was talking about the difference between converting and being. And I had this little bit of an epiphany, just thinking about where I came from, and some organized religion type situations where the emphasis may be more on conversion or converts or numbers or things like that versus just loving people. If you watched my last video where I guess I got cut off, I was talking about that, and I was just saying that how much cooler would it be if we would actually just focus on ourselves and what's going on with us. And if you look over the scope of different organizations, religions, whatever, there are several that have that emphasis of converting. And I mean, I came from lots of them. I've tried lots of different religions over the time, and there was a lot of emphasis on converting in all of them. And I was a part of that train, like the whole altar calls and everything else. And I remember the very first time, I didn't grow up in church, but I started going to church about 13. And I remember someone coming and approaching me, asking me if I had ever been saved. And I was like, what does that even mean? Like almost in a car accident and then someone saved me like right at the end, or in a fishing boat accident or airplane accident or something, and then someone saving me. I didn't understand the phrase or phraseology coming from not having been introduced to any kind of language like that. Well, they explained like, do you know God and blah blah. Well, I grew up understanding God and having a relationship with God. I've been having encounters and I believe a true relationship with God as long as I can remember. And so, whatever. And they wanted you to do the whole like prayer thing, and like that was going to get you fire insurance. And I just heard somebody say, how can you get fire insurance to be more of who you are, or be more like your dad? We just are like our dad. And when we remember that. And so, I can remember feeling less than, even in high school and I guess junior high school, because there was that emphasis. I guess I felt like I wasn't very good at being a Christian in a way, because I wasn't converting people. I wasn't leading people to the Lord, or, doing this sentence with people to make sure that they're in. And I did feel a real call to service and to love and to helping people awaken, but I just didn't package it the same way necessarily. And I remember in 10th grade, I actually had made a dedication to full-time ministry, even at 10th grade, and made that commitment public, and the whole deal. And I can also remember being in full-time ministry, running circles with ministers for 17 years in the conference scene, and being on planes and being on stages with other people who, not all of them had that push for converting people. And yet there were some who literally, we would just go eat or grab a coffee, and whoever the waitress was or whatever that day, I always felt like almost embarrassed, and I wanted to get underneath the table, because I knew Jesus was going to come up and there was going to be an offer to get saved, and there was going to be this, it was unauthentic to me. I'm not saying it was not authentic for the people who have that call, or what, if that's a call. I'm not saying that people shouldn't do it, and I'm not judging anyone who did it. I mean, like I said, I wore the Turn or Burn t-shirt. I had the Hunk If You Know Jesus bumper sticker. I swear to God, I literally did. My senior pictures, I had my senior pictures done and brought it to a printer and did a full track on there on like how to know Jesus and how to call me if you wanted to be led to the Lord. and gave those out instead of senior pictures, which, you know, nobody was doing that. I took out a full page in my yearbook as an ad for my testimony of how I got saved, and I passed out the tracts, and I did all of those things, and but it never seemed like 100%. As much as I loved people and wanted people to have that same love that I shared with God, when it came down to just, you know, that I could do easier, but just sitting at a restaurant and then someone coming up and not really knowing what they were getting into, and then being like all of a sudden caught up in this God, you know, conversion situation, that seemed a little different for me. You know, maybe it's not, golly, but for me, sending, you know, put something up and for them to do it on their own and be introduced to it, and if they're drawn to it, come to it, versus you know, sitting next to the guy on the plane and talking about Jesus the whole time, and opening up my Bible and telling him he's going to go to hell if he doesn't do everything that's in the thing and say the prayer. So that, I didn't, anyway, it wasn't until my mid 30s-ish when I really started investigating my name and looking into what my name meant. And actually Sharna is in Israel. It's the center of Israel, and it means rose or warrior, and El means of God. So Sharna of God is warrior or rose of God. But Sharna happens to be in this specific place in Israel. It's the center of Israel, and it's a big, ginormous field where wild roses grow, and the sheep would come to feed off of these roses and eat in these fields. And all of a sudden I was like so relieved, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just called to teach and to feed people and to share and to love people. And it's not even anything about any kind of converting or forcing or getting, you know, people's phone number so I can invite them to church or any of that. It was just, I was just being me in my lane, and my name was spoken over me over and over and over. So that's who I become. That's who I am. That's who I was before I even got here. So that kind of helped. But even looking into this, you know, there are tons of outside organization type places and or even religions, and their focus isn't at all about conversion. Their focus isn't at all about numbers. Their focus is on taking 100% responsibility for being okay with where we're at, and being and accepting and loving where everyone else is, and just really honing in on how I can be a different person, and not trying to make everyone believe like me, but just loving me and getting better and shining brighter, and, you know, clearing up whatever false beliefs that I have, and having the courage to even look into my own life and call myself out, and have people who call me out too, and to look at my belief systems and my programs to see, does this really line up with love? Like, is this really what I should be doing? And just following that GPS. And if you think about it, it's not even just about religion where this conversion mindset comes from. I mean, think about it. CrossFit. I love CrossFit, but if you meet anyone who does CrossFit, you're going to know that they do CrossFit in like 2 seconds or less. And no judgment to that, but it's if the CrossFit, keto, vegan, you ever met like a pile of vegans, and they look down on you because you're not vegan, or keto people too. I mean, I'm keto. I love keto. I love to share about keto just because I have such great benefits, but I'm not trying to like convert anyone or like force anyone or like push, or, I'm just being. And so I guess I'm just saying all that. I mean, you could go into politics or anything, any topic. If there is any ounce of you converting someone to try to make them feel, think the way you do, or talk the way you do, or believe the same things that you do, that is literally the definition of control and witchcraft. And I mean, it's definitely okay to have your opinions, although Bob Jones would say opinions are like witchcraft. Share, but to me it's all about intent. If you're sharing because you love people and you want them to feel better and you want them to go do great things and you enjoy helping other people, that's one thing. But when you're doing anything, any topic, and trying to get other people to join you out of that beta brain level push where it's like almost frantic and you got to do this, that isn't something I enjoy. And I am just, again, this is piggybacking on my last video. If you didn't see the first one, you can scroll back on my Facebook and see the first one. But take some time today to think about what you're thinking, to think about how you share, to think about what you believe. Be okay with challenging your own beliefs. Have the courage to look and see, what do you believe and why do you believe it? And where did that come from? And does that even line up with love at all? And how are you presenting any of that information? Or are you just being? Because being is a great, awesome opportunity. Just be. Love, shine your genius, shine your love, be kind, go figure. Go be kind to people and just love on people and let them be drawn to that light. And like Lisa said earlier, be a light. We're supposed to be a light and a city on a hill. So do that and let that speak for you. All right. Hope this helps. I love your comments. I love reading all what you guys say and what you do and all your posts and stuff. And it helps me too. As you can see, a lot of the things that you guys post, then I come back and do another video on it. So I love this collective discussion of different topics that we get to do on a daily. So hope you're having a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.